Hello and welcome to episode, I haven't got a clue. I genuinely started with hello and welcome to episode and haven't actually even looked up at what episode I'm at. This is a sign of how well this is going to go, isn't it? Hello. Welcome to episode, I don't know what. It'll be there. You'll be able to see it on YouTube. I haven't got a Scooby. Welcome to the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and I will be your host. I'm in a funny mood. Can you tell? Mode apparently. Yeah, this is all very haphazard and I am in the middle of a work day. Suddenly remembered that it is Thursday the 14th of September. It's Thursday, which means that I don't have childcare tomorrow, and this is my last chance to record during the day without a small person. If you're new here, hi. My name's Laura. This is where I come to chat all about my knitting, yarn dyeing, crafty adventures. I am the dyer behind the Lonely Knitter. I am the director behind East Anglia Yarn Festival, and I am an all-round mess. I just realised how high my ponytail is as well. That is excessive. I come to you from Lowestoft in the most easterly town. It is the most easterly town of England, sticking out into the sea. And I live here with my husband, my two small children, my dog, my cat, and a whole lot of yarn, some of which is here with us today. I was in the middle of dyeing and twisting. I am finishing up dyeing advents, which is just a lot of work, and everything went wrong with my summer, just as I kind of thought it might, and so I'm now finishing all the dyeing of advents. My kitchen, where I normally record, is completely full of advent yarn, advent packaging, advent everything, so therefore it's spilled out into the living room, which also happens to be the only place I can record without spoiling advents. So this yarn is not advent yarn, this is all tweed for Yarndale and Glasgow School of Yarn, which I will talk about in a minute. If you have been here before, hi! The summer went by in a flash. No, it didn't, it was very long. Yeah, hi, thanks for coming back. I have been a bit overwhelmed over the summer. I had all these grand plans to try and record with the children in the house over the summer. If you haven't been here before, my kids are 6 and 3, and yeah, no nursery, no childcare, no school over the it's actually more like 7 weeks of the summer holidays, and it's all been a bit chaotic. And yeah, nothing has happened how I planned for it to happen. Trying to work full time from home with 2 little people who just want to hang off me. Prep for shows. I've already had Unravel Autumn. I had Stitches on the Sand, which is the little one that I organise in my hometown. Trying to do all of that with 2 small children broke me. And when I say broke me, I mean hiding in the toilet and having a cry more than once. And I'm going to try and remember to look at the dot and not look at my face. Sorry for my one person who last time said, thank you for actually looking at the dot. I'm sorry, I've let you down so far. I'm going to try. So yeah, it's been an absolute crazy summer. I've had lots of fun, but at the same time, things haven't stopped for even a second. It's been an absolute whirlwind and I feel like I haven't had a moment to breathe. So let me put my knitting down because otherwise I'm too distracted and not talking. So what I thought I would do is, rather than come back and try and do a big recap of everything that's happened over the summer, which would be impossible because my brain can't fit it all in and I don't make very good notes, I decided to grab all the finished objects that I have from when I last saw you, the projects that I'm working on now, and the stash enhancement that was within eye range, when it was in my sight in the kitchen when I decided to podcast. So I have grabbed a few things because the chances are I might not have stash enhancement over the next few podcast episodes, so therefore I can grab some of the other things that might have come to my house over the summer on future episodes and show you them then. So I'm going to start with finished objects. This is how, if you haven't been here before, this is very haphazard. I am not organised. I'm not good at this. I just come for a chit chat. So I'm going to jump straight into finished objects. Last time I saw you, I think I had this cast on, and this is my Litmus Cowl. So you might notice some of these colours happen to be here. I hadn't made a Litmus Cowl. I had said for ages that I was going to. I'd recommended the pattern to loads of people because other people I knew had knit it and loved it. And it's a free pattern by Jude of Stranded Dyeworks, and it is just, because it's a free pattern, I can share the information, but it is just around and around and around. You just cast on the stitches, provisional cast on, make a giant massive tube on a circular needle, so it's just the best project for mindless knitting, and then you graft it together at the end. I'm sure the pattern one was an advent, and I have all of the tonal colours from my Game of Thrones and Fire and Ice collection, and I wanted to use them in a Litmus Cowl. So the grey is Hold the Door, and then all the other tonals from the collection I just repeated. It takes about 5 grams per stripe, so I just went through and I put them all in an order that I liked, so that's the whole set, and then just went through and repeated and repeated, and I think I got 4 repeats, so I used every scrap, as in there was a couple of meters left of each one of the contrast colours, and a tiny little bit of the grey left, and this used and again like a couple of meters, so it used 1 full skein of this colour and then 1 20-gram mini of all of the others, and it's done, and I love it, and I love it in the tweed. I absolutely love it. I know some people have said like, oh, tweed yarns, I think I would want to pick the tweedy neps off. I am the sort of person that would usually do that, and I haven't wanted to, and I have squished it loads. So this is coming with me as a sample to the shows that I'm doing this autumn, and it came to Unravel this weekend, just been Unravel Autumn, and I decided to put together some kits because kits are fun, everyone loves an easy, or you can grab that and make the whole project. So that's what all this is, because they sold out. It was unreal. They sold out at Unravel, the Tweedy kits, and the sock ones didn't. I still have a few sock ones left to take with me to Yarndale, but the Tweedy ones sold out in the first morning, and then for the rest of the weekend I was having people ask if I had any more kits, and I've actually had to do a couple of pre-orders, which the yarn is now all dyed and dried, just needs to be twisted, and I can send out those today. So I'm remaking the kits for Yarndale and Glasgow because they're fun, and it is just potato chip vanilla TV knitting. I knit on this through the Barbie movie, I knit on this through Oppenheimer, and yeah, so in the cinema it's easy enough because the colours were quite bold. This is the only one that is a little tricky to see in the dark, to know where you're going to switch. So I didn't really find it an issue counting to like 10 or 11, so in the movies, so I knit it in the movies, and yeah, had a really great time, and I love this pattern, and I'm going to make probably a Find Your Fade with my advent for this year, hopefully before advent so I can take pictures, and it should leave me with some scraps of each colour. So I have a feeling that if I can think of a nice contrast colour, I'm going to be making another one of these with leftover advent bits as well, so I have an advent one. Yay! Talking of advent, I have had a lot of messages recently from people asking whether or not I will have any spare advents. Yes, I will. I am definitely dyeing extras. I do it every year just in case anybody's goes missing in the post, but I've dyed more than enough extras this time, and I've never had an advent go missing. So there will be extra advents, but I might take them to Yarndale if they're all ready by then. I've had massive delays with advent, which is why I'm so glad that I did them early. I did them in April, so that I put them up for sale in April so that I could do 3-month payment plans for everybody and still have had that money in and be within the 6-month window and things like that. But with me, like, if I couldn't get them out for some reason, I would obviously refund people, but they're coming out, there's no problem. So they'll all be dyed and done by the end of September, as long as my last finishing touches turn up in time, and they'll all be with everyone well before December as planned. But I just think having a Star Wars Litmus Cowl would be next level, and I want one. So yeah, there will be spare advents I'm going to make happen into Litmus, and yeah, I'll talk more about them when they're available. But yeah, Litmus Cowl finished, the best fun, and I really want to make another one. And the ends aren't woven in, but no judging allowed. And I still used it as a sample even though the ends aren't woven in, and it is blocked. This is Ellie's. It's got a crease in it because it's been folded up in a box. This is Ellie's Tolsta, so I need to weave the ends in so she can actually wear it, but it's been ridiculously hot and I took it to unravel as a sample with all of the strands hanging out because I'm not professional. And these are my two Barbie colours, which she absolutely loved. And I showed her the Tolsta and she pointed at the stripy one and said, I like the stripes. And I was like, well, that's perfect because that's exactly what I was planning for you. So I just made it exactly as the pattern. I made the smallest size. She is only 6 years old. It has grown with blocking, as I knew it would, which means it's coming out at like a long slouchy tee on her, and she loves it. But I reckon I'm going to get like 3 years worth of wear out of this from her. I better do, because making anything for your kids, you know that they'll grow out of it quickly. Alfie really is desperate for a jumper now because he's seen Ellie's and he keeps going, are you making that for me, with anything else that I'm then knitting, and giving me loads of guilt, so I need to cast something on for him. But yeah, it's a DK weight, and this in the smallest size for Ellie took me half a skein of the pink and 1.5 skeins of the main colour, so really happy with that. And that's Barbie, and Barbie yarn is coming with me to all the shows I'm doing this autumn, and then this is a sample on the stand. And then, so those are my 2 finished objects. I don't have any more finished objects, but they're pretty good ones for me. And I've been working tons. I haven't had loads of knitting time, but I do have something else that's coming to my house, and it's the most beautiful thing in the world, but I didn't knit it. But I'm going to show you anyway because it's the most beautiful thing. My lovely friend Nina took some of my Hocus Pocus yarn last year to make a sample when we were at Yarndale, to make a sample for me. And she has finished it and sent it to me, and it's in my size so I can wear it. And it is the most beautiful thing I've ever worn. And I'll put a picture in because Ellie took a picture of me. She was only standing on the sofa while I was in the living room, took a picture of me, and it's one of my favourite pictures. So I'm going to put it in here. Using the hands to remind me that I am putting something in. And it's the Dancing Nancies sweater pattern. Don't know if you can, oh. My mum rang me. I said to pause and talk to my mum. But it's the Dancing Nancies sweater pattern, and look at the arms and the bottom. Oh, I love it. Obviously you've seen a picture of me with it on, so I'm not going to put it on now because it's hot in this house, but it is the most beautiful thing I've ever owned. I don't tend to make fingering weight jumpers for me because they take a long time. I have ADHD, I get bored. It's nice to know that I now kind of have a reasoning behind why I'm constantly going, another thing, another thing, another thing, another thing. Nina has a lot more patience than me and made me this absolute beauty of a jumper. But it has now made me want to make all the fingering weight jumpers. So once I have the projects that I have planned off my needles, I think I might have to cast myself something on in fingering weight because it's the nicest thing to wear, and it's my yarn, it's my sock base, and it is just so soft, but it's so light but still warm. And yeah, I love it more than I've ever loved any jumper that I've knit myself, and I've not knit this one myself, and it's just made me want to make fingering weight jumpers. So yeah, that's the Dancing Nancies, and it is, oh, it's like a work of art. So you can see it on my stand at Yarndale and Glasgow. I will be bringing it as a sample on my stand, or I might even be wearing it because it's so beautiful and I love it. So those are all the finished objects that I have either made myself or have entered the house. And on to works in progress. I have a couple to show. I've only brought 2 through with me. I don't think I've worked on anything else actually. Okay, so since I cast off the Tolsta, I wanted something really squishy. I wanted it to be in my DK, and I wanted to make something with 4 of the colours from my Game of Thrones collection that I had said I was going to work together right from the beginning and hadn't yet. So I decided to cast on a Grove shawl. I have the pattern, but I'm sure I don't have the first page and I can't remember the designer. But I will link the patterns below, or like write their details out so that it doesn't send you direct to Ravelry, so that if you can't use Ravelry, no, I haven't got the front page. But this is the Grove shawl, and there's a fingery weight version and a DK weight version, and I'm coming up to halfway through the shawl, and it uses the Night King, and then it blends into Breaker of Chains, which then blends into Lannister Gold, which then blends into, or is now blending into, Unbent, Unbowed, Unbroken. And it's just a massive squishness. I love it so much. And it's again quite vanilla because it is all just garter stitch, and then just remembering the increases, and then it has a I-cord edging. But it's really, really nice. It's really, really nice, and I love it. A really nice pattern to work on, and I'm really enjoying it. And it should use 4 skeins of DK, and I liked the idea of having 4 different skeins and fading them into each other. And yeah, so I don't know when this one will get finished, but I'm not going to put it down. I'm not going to stop working on it. I'm going to have it there as my you don't need to think knitting. The Litmus Cowl, and then the Tolsta, and then this, really, I haven't knit any socks in that entire time because they've all given me enough of a vanilla knitting vibe, and usually socks fill that hole for me, so yay. So that project is in a stash enhancement bag, so I will save that for a minute and show you in a little while. And the other thing that I am working on is a test knit, and it's not a secret test knit. People have been sharing it online, so I can share it too. I haven't got an awful lot of it. This is Stick Season from the Crafty Bird, the lovely Rebecca, who, if you're watching this and you haven't watched the Crafty Bird podcast on YouTube, head over and have a look, because she does a podcast properly, whereas I just come and have a little chit chat and a bit of a madness. She actually does a proper podcast. But this is the first part of her of the sweater, and it is, my nails are awful, I know, I'm sorry. I've been dyeing black and brown, and I used my daughter's nail varnish to put some polish on when I went to unravel, so don't look at my nails. But yeah, this is Stick Season, and it is the very beginnings, and it is in a colour that I have dyed up specially for it, which I just really, really love, this sort of blue. Yeah, so the very beginnings of a DK weight jumper, and I have to finish this by the start of November. So this is currently, I've only just cast it on like day before yesterday, but this is currently getting all the attention, and then the Grove shawl just jumps in when I can't focus on the pattern, so getting all the attention. And the bag is also stash enhancement, but those are my 2 projects, so I can now move on to stash enhancement. So I mostly got things that I got from Unravel. The Grove shawl is living in this bag. So my lovely friend Jess of Pigment and Ply was opposite me in the room for Unravel, and it was nice to just have someone to chat to the whole weekend. And she had some of these bags on her stand, and she draws these. She draws the design, and then gets it made into fabric, and then gets the bag made up. And this might have been one of her advent bags, but it's printed on velvet, and I love velvet bags. So, oh, look at that. Amazing. So she had these, they were staring at me, and I was like, I want one. So I went and got one, and I have my Grove shawl in it. And funnily enough, I can't remember if this had come before the last episode. I know I told you in one of the previous episodes that I had this bag on order, but I don't think it had arrived. It might have done, but this is the bag that the Grove shawl was in before, and I took it out of it to go into here before it was in this one, which came earlier in the summer, and it was a pre-order, and it's the Lord of the Rings inspired bag, and it's inspired by Rivendell and like the elves home. And again, just drew the design, got it printed onto velvet fabric, and then made it into bags. So, or I think her mum leaks it into bags. But yeah, oh, look at them. So those were stash enhancement. And then while we're on that project, this is a stitch marker that I got at Stitches on the Sand that I thought I'd just show you. This is a cauldron with a purple potion. And this is from it's not focusing at all. But this is from Flame Knits, who is one of my local makers who vends at our show each year and makes glass blown stitch markers. I love them. Anyway, next thing we're powering on through is this bag. So I was next to at Unravel the lovely Gail, who is Made by Me, lovingly by Gail. So she's like, Gail Made by Me was her stand name in the book. And she had loads and loads of project bags. And this one was staring at me the whole time. It's amazing yellow. And I could just see these rainbow stripes. I just kept thinking, I love that. I love them rainbow stripes. If it's still there on the Saturday afternoon, I'm going to have it. And yeah, it was still there on the Saturday afternoon, so I had it. So yeah, rainbow stripes. I love this fabric, and yeah, that's got my test knit inside it. So those are the project bags. I went and had a lovely big chat with Jen of FibreWorkshop. Jen is a local again to me. She vends at East Anglia Yarn Festival as well. But I went and had a big chat with her at Unravel. So she's vended with us at East Anglia Yarn Festival in the past, and hopefully in the future too. And all of her yarn is from Norfolk horn sheep. Now, if you've seen the logo for East Anglia Yarn Festival, it is a Norfolk horn sheep. Her name is Norma, because even the girls have horns. And it's a rare breed sheep, and we're in Norfolk, or I'm on the Norfolk Suffolk border, but Jen with FibreWorkshop is in Norfolk, and so all of her yarn is Norfolk horn. So it says 100% Norfolk horn wool sourced from small producers in Norfolk, and then she plant dyes it. So she gets it all, does everything, every stage, and then plant dyes it. And she was selling these little skeins. I think they're only 25 grams. Yeah, so it's a 4-ply, 25 grams, or 103 meters, 113 yards each. And I just thought, oh, I just love them. So I grabbed 4 of the skeins, and I'm thinking some sort of like little accessory, like wrist warmers, or I don't know, something. But I've got 100 grams in these 4 colours, which I just think are gorgeous. And yeah, they're all plant dyed, which is, you know, plant dyeing is a world away from acid dyeing, and it is just amazing. And yeah, so, and I love that it's got on the ball band it says World Land Trust carbon balanced print as well. So for the ball bands, and yeah, celebrating a rare breed, its place and its people. And this has been getting me more and more recently. British wool, the fact that we have so much British wool, but that it doesn't have a huge value. My brother's girlfriend has been trying to get me to take fleece since March and April. She has a farm in Suffolk, and they get like 40p a fleece from the British Wool Board, who obviously are trying to get them the best price they can for their members, but there isn't the call. And all of the yarn that I dye, you know, we want merino, we want soft, people want superwash, they want as usable and as friendly as possible, and that wool is not grown here in the UK. That softness, this squish, is sort of New Zealand and further away. So there's a lot of air miles on it by the time it gets here. Nothing wrong with that, we want to support everywhere, but I just can't stop thinking about supporting British farmers. I don't want my sister-in-law to turn up with tons and tons of fleece to go in my garden. But I'm trying to think of a way to do it, and I've had something in the works for a couple of months now, and I think it's actually going to happen. Well, no, I know it's actually going to happen, but yeah, I will talk about it in the future. But this is my first little hint that for a few months now something has been in the works, and I have finally found a way to do my little bit to potentially try and support British farmers and farmers who are really struggling in our area especially, but East Anglian farmers. Anyway, so I had lots of good chats with Jen of FibreWorkshop and told her some of my ideas, and she was amazing about talking me through things. And I got these ones from her. So that's my first little bit of yarny stash enhancement. And then I went for a wander around the Great Hall with some of my friends, and we saw these kits from Fudge and Mabel. So these toadstool needle felting kits. I know what you're thinking, if you know me. Laura, stop with the hobbies. But I did some needle felting years and years ago. I was never very good at it. But she had these toadstools, and they were on string, on a bit of embroidery thread, like for hanging on a Christmas tree. I was like, that's so cute, I want one. And they were really reasonably priced, and they come with enough to make quite a few. I think it said you could make 10 depending on the size, 5 to 10 toadstools depending on the size, and extra wool to play with, it says. So I was like, cool, I reckon I could do one of those. So that was on the Thursday, and then I ended up not going out to dinner it was on the Friday, and I ended up not going out to dinner on the Friday night with my friends. We were all meant to go for a curry, and I didn't feel great. Decided to go back to the room and have a little chill out for a little while. Felt much better. Stayed up till 1 AM making a toadstool. So I had loads of fun making this. Maybe I might add some more of the little white bits to the top, I'm not sure. But look at the detail, and it's so cute. And I love it. So I'm gonna put a bit of embroidery thread through it there, and then hang it. It can go on my Christmas tree or hang somewhere. And I want to make a little smaller ones. Anyway, after I'd stayed up till like 1 AM on the Friday night, making my toadstool and watching Gilmore Girls again, I had such a good time that I went back in the morning and had a look at some of our other kits, and I got this one, which is a gnomes needle felting kit, and I want to make one for one of my friends who I'm going to see before the end of the year who likes gnomes. So gnomes, and I've spilled something on the corner, but yeah, so I bought both of those so I can make a load more toadstools, and I've had a couple of friends who said I want a toadstool, so I've got orders for toadstools now. And then I've got the gnomes kit, and I have bought this little wool mat to felt onto as well. So those were my purchases from Fudge and Mabel, and yeah, bit of fun, bit of something different for if I'm feeling a bit of burnout and really want to work on something that isn't knitting, maybe. I also grabbed these two from my lovely friend Jess at Pigment and Ply, because we were having a lot of discussions about the British wool that I am looking at and the options that I have and things like that. And she said, have you squished my British wool blend that I stock? And I was like, no, show me. So it is 20% grey alpaca, 40% Shetland, and 40% Blueface Leicester. It's a 4-ply fingering weight, and there's 350 meters per 100 grams, and it is a non-superwash yarn. And I bought two in the end, and I got one in Blood Soaked Gown and one in Dear Reader. And they have got obviously the alpaca in, so there's a little bit of a fuzzy halo, but I think they're beautiful colours together. And again, I thought something colour work together, maybe a cowl or something, I don't know. You know, it's got that slight rustic, like any non-superwash woolly yarn, but the alpaca softens it up a lot, and it is, I think, really lovely and squishy and soft for what it is. But yeah, British wool blend, and I don't know why that is getting me all the excitement at the moment. Yeah, just less air miles, and I'm not saying that I won't buy yarn from all around the world and you know, have used the yarn bases that I've still used, but having this as an option is just something that's really giving me all the love at the moment. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, I got these two as well, and that's all the yarn that I bought at the weekend. I went to see the HaberdasherBee, because bees, if you know me, I love bees. I've got a bee tattoo. I had my first logo for Bumbling Yarns and Crafters Balm before I changed to The Lonely Knitter, which was like my podcast name from years before, was a bumblebee. And there is still a tiny bumblebee in the Lonely Knitter logo to like pay homage to the thing I really loved to begin with. So I found the HaberdasherBee, and these were really reasonably priced. wooden crochet hooks. I'm going to take them out of here now that I've got them out to show you. But they are handmade wooden crochet hooks, and I got a 3mm and oh no, it's 3.5mm. I did know that. 3.5mm and a 5mm. But like, they're so cute. They're so cute. And I do love an ergonomic handle, but I don't crochet loads, so I don't need an ergonomic handle. Do you know what I mean? So these were the only two sizes they had left, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna get them both. I think they were like £7, like not a lot for what they are, but they're so pretty. They're so pretty. So I grabbed both of those, and then I grabbed these. I'll take them out of their cardboard now, actually. But they are stitch markers on a little metal pin, and they are bumblebees, wooden bumblebees, and I love them. And I actually got them because I thought they're just on bulb pin stitch markers, but I thought I'm collecting little bits for certain people, and I thought I could pop one of these in with their packages. So yeah, these can now go into rotation, and I'll take a couple off for the people that I'm going to send them to, and then I'm going to keep the rest for me. So that's all my stash enhancement from Unravel. This was in my eyesight, and excuse the crinkling, and I thought, oh, I'll bring that through as well. This is actually from Stitches on the Sand. I'm going to open it. Oh, it's absolutely come apart. Okay, so this is a mini skein set from Robin of the Crafty Bird, but I've squished it a lot through the package, and then it got put on a shelf, and they all fell about in their packaging. So the packaging made it look really untidy, but it wasn't. When I got it, when Robin sold it to me, they were beautiful. They're still beautiful, but they were beautifully presented, and I ruined it. Robin showed me, because we are swapping advents this year, and she showed me this, and she went, this is the base that yours is going to be on, this gold sparkle. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. Oh, I want them. And this is, I think, her autumn collection. And I'll just show you the minis. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They're really beautiful. I'm not sure they'll go into things together. They might go into things apart. Ellie hasn't got any mittens for this year. Maybe I could do some mittens in stripes or something. But they are absolutely stunning. Robin has knocked it out of the park. And they're all so, so beautiful. And I had to have them. So that is Robin's autumnal collection that she's put out this year. And I love, 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 love them. They're so pretty. I got them at Stitches on the Sand. I did get some other things at Stitches on the Sand. And I bought some giveaway prizes. Now, the giveaways haven't been going well over here. People haven't been claiming them, which is very sad. I think they're nice things. But I think Instagram giveaways do better, because you know, you get a notification, you come and look at the post, you don't have to watch a whole video to be able to get them. So I have 2 giveaways that will be coming up. I need to think about how I'm going to do them. I'll do a video probably to go with them, give people a little bit of time to enter. One of them is going to be on the East Anglia Yarn Festival Instagram grid, with a little autumnal giveaway that I have got for there. The other one will be to my Discord group. Now, I will leave the link below to join the Discord. I know a few people have been asking about it. I want to get more active in there, give that a little bit more time. I haven't had a little bit of time for anything recently, but I want to get chatting back in there a bit more. And people have been posting in the finished objects thread, so I can't decide. So there is a finished objects thread for things done in my yarn, I think. I need to have a little think. But the idea was that I was going to do a little quarterly giveaway. Well, I've got a bit of a bumper giveaway worth of stuff to do. So I'll either divide it down into 2, or we'll have one big prize. And it'll go into that Discord group. So if you would like to be in a chance of it, keep an eye out. I will put videos on the channel, probably record them next week or the week after, with a big plan of what I want to do to get some fun things going on. But yeah, I'm always sort of thinking it's nice to support businesses, small businesses, get things from them, give them away to you guys. It doesn't always have to be from me. I know I dye my own yarn, but I just like to look at the sort of wider community aspect. And especially I think East Anglia Yarn Festival makes me, or EAYF as we call it, because East Anglia Yarn Festival every time is a mouthful, but with EAYF it really makes you aware when you run a show how many small businesses there are and how you can affect them. Every single sale matters, helps, gives them a happy dance, and I am loving being a part of that community. Have done for years and want to stick with it, and I just want to, yeah, building on that is something that's given me all the joy. Anyway, in terms of life stuff, oh my gosh, what a year, what a summer, what a year. It's felt like a year. Summer holidays was crazy. We had a week in York. Chris stayed here and decorated and worked, and I took the kids to my aunt and uncle's house. That was lovely, very tiring, but really lovely. Took them out every single day, did lots of different things. We went to Legoland for a day, we went to Colchester Zoo for the day. We did loads of little family things like that. And then the rest of it, I worked with the children in the house. Basically put them on the trampoline for the entire summer holidays. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I haven't had time to think, breathe. My Instagram, barely been posting on there, because when do you find the time? There is no time to scroll or see what other people are doing or post what you're doing when there are people hanging off you at all times and you're still trying to work full time. Yeah, it's been impossible. It nearly broke me. I didn't get a single day of childcare before Unravel, which went really well. Unravel Autumn, lovely, lovely show, not very far away from me. Like, I say any show that's less than 5 hours away from me, I say is not that far. It's about 4 hours away from me. And yeah, I got 2 nights in a hotel and it was lovely, and I saw grown-ups, but I didn't get a single day of childcare before that show. So the show was Friday, Saturday with a setup day on Thursday. I took Ellie went back to school on the Wednesday. Alfie went back to nursery on the Thursday, did the school run in the morning, came home, put the last few things in my car, drove off to Unravel. So I didn't get a single child-free day before that show. And I think it's going to mean that next year in September, I'm going to take a break. So next September, I might not do shows and have a year off of shows. And then I might go to some. I might go and visit as a customer again, which I love doing. I visit February Unravel as a customer because it's just before EAYF and I haven't got any brain space. And I love that weekend. I have a great time. So I might do that a bit next September instead of actually vending. Yeah, it's just been exhausting. I've come out of summer holidays feeling a little bit like I just want to sit in my living room like this for a few days. I can't because there's too much work to do. This weekend coming up, we are going to a family party in York, and then the next weekend is Yarndale. So I am full on dyeing the last few bits of Advent at the moment and just twisting mini skeins on repeat, and restocking with all my colours for Yarndale. So there is no moment. There is no moment to stop, to breathe, to think, nothing. There is not a second to, yeah. Hopefully in October I'll have a chance to sort of breathe a little bit more and get all things finished and done, and then it's Glasgow School of Yarn, and then I haven't got any more shows booked in, and yeah, but I'll be amping up for East Anglia Yarn Festival 2024, which is a huge amount of work, and yeah. So, deep breath, keep calm and carry on and all that. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work because this is already more time than I should have allowed myself. But if you have joined me for basically a talk through what I've knitted and what I've bought and a little bit of needle felting, I hope to get back to less brain frazzled podcasts, but let's not kid ourselves, we know what I'm like. I hope to get back to more of a structure sometime soon, but at the moment I'm just dragging myself through and we'll see how we go. I can't wait to tell you some of the things that I've got planned over the next year, exciting stuff that's coming up. My illustration for EOIF for 2024 is complete and I am very, very, very excited about it. Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things going on. I just need to have a moment to think. I think I need to start dropping some balls, putting things to one side and focusing on stuff. Anyway, now I really am rambling. Thank you so much if you got all the way through this video, and as always, thank you so much for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.